Hello and welcome to High Value Hustling with Aidan and James. My name is James,
My name is Aidan.
and we're going to kick it right off by asking the question. Oh, actually, no. Let's get the topic first.
Yes.
Today's topic is building the ultimate weapon. And Mr. Aidan, what is your definition in your mind of the ultimate weapon?
So I feel like the ultimate weapon is not even a perspective of like a physical weapon, right, or a tool, but it is the pursuit of a person achieving the best version of themselves, right? So the idea of that is that someone who is 14 and someone who is 72, right? They can both be the best versions of themselves. It doesn't matter like what they physically have, what they actually know, and what they're currently doing. But that 14-year-old that is grinding every day, mowing lawns, or that 72-year-old that has, 50 doors that he owns inside of multiple neighborhoods that is producing, at that point, passive income, they both are pursuing a high level of healthy growth. And them pursuing the high level of healthy growth lets them be able to, like, not only let them be, like, they're learning a lot, right? They're being reactive to situations,
Yeah.
right? And when they become reactive inside of things and learn things, that eventually makes them proactive, and that can help them learn things in the future, right?
Okay.
So, like for example, right? I'm only 21. You're only what? You're 19.
Yes.
You're only 19, man. Okay. But the things that we're talking about already, some people won't learn until it's later down the line, right? Some people might have already learned this, right?
Yeah.
And personally, like when I meet someone who's younger than me, does that I find that intimidating that if they know more than me, like they've already achieved more. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, like I started mowing lawns when I was 12, but if I met a kid who started mowing lawns when he was 10, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's like this kid was beating me out the gate. First off, his parents had to let him because my parents did not let me do that.
Yeah.
But it's just like that competitiveness inside of me, just I see that difference. And with that difference, I can like put myself in a time frame where I am. But that's a different conversation. That's a different topic. So bringing it back to like the ultimate weapon and making yourself the idea of the ultimate weapon is the pursuit of healthy growth, right? So like right now, like what are some ways that you, James, are helping you pursue healthy growth?
Yeah, that's super powerful right there. I want to say that again. The ultimate weapon is pursuing healthy growth. Like that's super powerful. And like and maybe you don't understand that. And I know it's simple, but it just means you're continuously saying, how can I make myself better? And this is like in any areas of life. This is mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. This is saying, hey, I'm not going to work my 4-hour shift and come home and sit on YouTube or play Xbox. This is saying, hey, maybe you can only work a 4-hour shift because you're a minor or whatever. You come home and you're like, I'm gonna read this book that's about emotional intelligence and how I can grow myself. And these are just some examples. But the way I really started, with me growing and pursuing healthy growth is it started in the gym. I love being surrounded by an environment of people that shared a hard work ethic.
What made you want to go to the gym if you think about it? Because like at one of my grand openings, because we both work at Chick-fil-A, right? And so like James hasn't been on a grand opening before, focusing on school, living with his parents, saving money, like setting himself up for his future and success. My family, my parents moved 2.5 hours south of here, so I had to very quickly decide whether or not I was going to go with them or do my own thing. Decided to do my own thing. Didn't pursue school because I wanted to avoid debt and because I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. And then inside of that, I had a lot of opportunities because if I wasn't in school, I was getting work more than 100%, right?
Yeah.
I was the guy who showed up early, the guy who stayed late, the guy who ate people's shifts like it was freaking breakfast, right? I came prepared and everything, and it was awesome. And then that produced opportunities for me to learn about leadership, to learn about being able to socialize with other people, emotional intelligence. And that led me to go on a couple grand openings and open new stores across the country. And at one of those grand openings, there was 2 guys that were a little bit heavier set. They both were married, and they were laughing at me and another guy. And they're like the 2 single guys are the ones who go to the gym that are built, but the 2 married guys are the guys that are fat and happy,
Right.
And I was like, so inside that, their pre-expectation of us going to the gym was because we were single and we found a pursuit of happiness at the gym. So like, what made you want to go to the gym? Does that break the norm? Is it something personal?
Yeah. What first started for me was um, I had gone to the gym while I was in a relationship, but not super often. It was just I wanted to look better, and by better to me, I was a 6'2" male at 168 pounds, which is fairly thin,
A little lightweight.
little
A little
lightweight,
lightweight.
nothing too skinny, but definitely lightweight. And so I wanted to. Actually there's this term. I'm going to butcher the term name, but it's called like the big man respect or something. It's like heavier guys, like not like fat, but like bigger, thicker guys,
Broader.
they get like respected automatically because of their size.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I didn't ever receive, but I've started receiving more recently.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
like
are a force to be reckoned with, man.
and I think an example of this would be like if you're walking down the sidewalk, if you're finding yourself being the first one to step to the side to allow the other, like male, like not a female's walking, but if a male's coming your way and they're bigger, and are you always the one stepping to the side?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the guy that people are stepping to the side for? And this is like a subconscious thing. But anyways, going back to why I went to the gym, something that catapulted me way more into the gym was getting out of a relationship and just having more time, and me just wanting to pursue adding mass to my body and getting more respect. But respect had a big thing to do with it.
I would say that when I started going to the gym too,
Yeah.
I went, but it was more inconsistent. It wasn't
Correct.
the same intensity. It wasn't the focus wasn't there. I thought it was a routine, and it ended up being healthy because I became very comfortable in the gym. But when I was dating the last person that I was dating and when going to the gym, whether I went with her or by myself, I didn't actually get as good as a workout.
Sure.
Not only because I wasn't working out with people who were one better than me or equivalent to me, because I was either working out by myself or with a person who knew less, right?
Yeah.
But once I was completely single, not dating anybody, and going to the gym with you, I was literally being pushed to new limits every single time I went. I was feeling soreness I never even felt when I had already been going to the gym for 2.5 years, right? Which is crazy.
Yeah, that is
right?
pretty crazy.
And so, like, I would definitely say that the idea of people who are single and go to the gym, I didn't go to the gym for girls. I didn't go to the gym for. I went to the gym to make myself better. I went to the gym like literally for myself and for my friends and people that valued my perspective, what I was doing, and were here to uplift me, right?
Yeah.
The benefit was though that the gym was a better girlfriend than my ex. It was like she was open 24/7. I mean, before they got like short staff.
The gym was open 24/7.
Yes, like the gym all around for me was just like a better girlfriend. You can take a day off. You could go twice a day. You could bring a friend. You could go by yourself. It was open 24/7.
Yeah.
Anytime. So, like, because I had that, I put so much time and energy into that because I wanted to grow. And then when I looked back, I then realized that I was capable of processing their emotions that I had felt, ideas that I wanted to think about. Because like when I go to the gym by myself, I first started listening to music, and the music got boring because I'm the kind of guy that I love repetition. Like things, like if I like something, I'm gonna literally eat that food or listen to that music or watch that movie until it is so boring I can't even handle it anymore. And I got to that point with some music, so I just started listening to audiobooks, and that was like the first time. I always told myself I didn't like to read. I wasn't good at reading. I didn't want to listen to an audiobook because I have really, really difficult time sitting still. I'm not diagnosed ADHD, but I feel like it's very prevalent in my life that I don't need to go get it diagnosed.
Sure.
So
yeah,
start listening to audiobooks, and then I fell in love not only with I fell in love with the pain that I was giving myself at the gym to grow me, right? But I also fell in love with I could go to the gym after I unloaded my mental mailbox, and after the couple of years that I've been going, and I could like listen to books and teach myself some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes really well with building the ultimate weapon of you're just pursuing healthy growth. First in the gym, secondary you discovered your enjoyment of reading books and these are like non-fictional. These are real life story books about relationships, about money, about real estate, about all kinds of things. And
leadership, I love leadership books.
Leadership, of course.
Mental toughness. Oh, dude.
Yeah. and these are growing him like at a pace a nonfiction wouldn't.
I was actually just talking to my now girlfriend a couple of hours ago, and something I was telling her is she's like I'm worried about what like ourselves would look like in a year and over a year, and I was like because well I inside of that I was like why are you worried about what you will do in a year, because when you do that in a year like you will change so much, right? I was like if you asked, so like 1 year ago this week was when my ex broke up with me. Okay.
Wow.
I just thought about that today. Actually, I don't know why. It got brought up in a conversation that I thought about it. And I was like, oh, dang, that was a year ago. Because I realized how much I had changed in that year, right? The year, I wasn't counting that day. I wasn't counting that week. I was just like, I looked back and I was like, okay, when did I start changing? And I was like, okay, when was the last time I cried? And I was like, okay, the last time I cried was over a year. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a year ago this week. And then I was like, in that time, I learned so much about finances, relationships, leadership books, mental toughness, ability to my knowledge of working out in the gym and all parts of my body, including caloric and cardiovascular health, greatly increased. But that wasn't due to me going to school or me sitting on my computer all day just like watching YouTube videos and crap. I was talking to people, going out and doing things, iron sharpens iron, listening to books and watching videos about specific things I wanted to grow in, you know?
Yeah, it's very good. And all these things are super good to building yourself to be the best person you can be. And a super big part for us is once we set a goal and we reach that goal is quickly moved again.
Oh, I love that idea.
It's just if you get comfortable with meeting a goal and not pushing yourself anymore, then you'll get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
And complacency is the killer of man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quote I see at the gym. It's a quote I've known true for myself. If I complete a goal and then don't push myself anymore, I will become a lazy man.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's not okay to celebrate the win of completing that goal.
Correct.
But you
celebrate it. Yeah.
As a hungry person that is, let's say, the ultimate weapon, what's the ultimate weapon is you pursuing healthy growth, right? It's not about the thing that you achieve pursuing the healthy growth. Like the 14-year-old to the 72-year-old, they both achieve something different, but it's not about that they achieved it. It's about that they had a pursuit of achieving something through healthy growth. So it's not about what they got, but it's about what they got while wanting to go get what they wanted, right? So if I wanted to lose weight, right, me losing weight was not actually the pursuit of healthy growth, right? Me learning how to lower my calories, foods and eating methods to help me reduce my calorie intake. Why it was important to count your macros, your calories, your carbs, your protein, right? And your fats and sugars, like why that was actually important to count. But I learned that through the pursuit of healthy growth towards my goal.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. As well as something that's been super good for both of us, something that I've recently discovered in this past year is time management, but very specifically setting us a very consistent schedule. Like not a schedule, but a routine, something that you follow. I'm not saying like one of those routines that you see on YouTube that's like, I journal for 30 minutes. No, it's something that is simple and then you can do every day. So just starting very simply with just the time you wake up. I don't care when you wake up, but are you doing it consistently? And if you're not, why is that? Because getting a consistent, not just amount of sleep, but of the wake up time is very important.
Mm-hmm. So something inside of that is like I said previously, we both work at Chick-fil-A. It's very common for the people who work open, so 5:45 a.m. to 2 o'clock, they will get off and then go home and be lazy because they wanted to relax from a long day of work, but they had an early shift, right? They go to bed early. But the people who take advantage of that,
like you and me.
Yes, the people who take advantage of an open to 2 shift.
Tell them what it's like.
Is that you get to get off and you get to take pre-workout and go to the gym. And you get out of the gym, you go home, you take a shower, you eat a big fat meal. You maybe sit down for an hour, maybe 30 minutes. Maybe. And then you just start getting back up and you clean everything in sight. You listen to books, you go move around the room, you're doing your homework, you're calling to people, getting conversations going, watching YouTube videos, listening to more books, right? And that's the people who take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And before you start, I know as a listener, you can very easily say, well, that's because of ADHD. That's because they always want to go. That's because they're young. No, this is because we have a goal. We value our time more than we value, I'm not going to say rest, but more than we value like too much rest. Okay. Like rest is important. There's definitely a balance. But if you work open to 2 and you have another, let's say 6 to 8 hours before you need to go to sleep, then we're most definitely not sitting down watching TV and just eating the next 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
We're definitely being productive. And if for you the gym is not that thing, then cool. I don't know what it is. Maybe you know exactly in your mind what you would like to do to be productive for you. There's actually, I really liked this. It's very simple. This speaker I listened to, he said there's 4 rules of life in his opinion. And his top rule is there has to be no 0 days. And a 0 day for him is when he has done nothing that goes towards his dream. So everyone has a dream in life. So let's say you work open to 2 at whatever place you're working, or you work, let's just say you work 9 to 5. That's not your dream job most likely. So either before 9 or after 5, just do one thing. And it doesn't matter what time, 5 minutes or if it's 2 hours. Do some time towards that dream every day.
Yeah.
So you have no 0 days. And that's the basis of what Aidan and I are doing. But because we hate wasting time.
And even inside of that too, like on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, like that's technically our first shift, right? But our quote unquote second shift at our Chick-fil-A that we work at is 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. when the store closes. But those people that typically they get off at 11, they then stay up, they're doing their homework, they're cramming that. Yeah, they'll stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning. Like if they're lucky, 1, But like if I close, bro, I'm in bed out 12:30 at the latest, dude. Because I'm like, I have to go to bed because I have to go to the gym in the morning. Everybody asks me why I get off at 9 now. They're like, why you got to go home so early? Why can't you stick around and close? I'm like, because I need to go to bed by 10:30 or else I won't be able to go to the gym with a reasonable amount of energy for my next day at 5 a.m. And they're like, you go to the gym at 6? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, we're at the basis. Aidan and I are setting up we're doing a good days of work where we feel fulfilled by doing something towards our dream, whatever that may be, or doing something that we completed something. Okay. But the second thing is we are setting up the next day for success by going to bed early. Okay. Like you're not setting up the next day for success by just waking up at that time. Because you can go to bed at midnight and wake up at 3 and be like, oh, I woke up at 3 because I always wake up at 3. No, you need to go to bed at a reasonable time. If you're waking up at 3, you need to go to bed at 8, right? And so, but we set our days up for the next day by, all right, we do our laundry every week. I mean, that's the basis, right? But we're preparing our week by sleep, by work ethic, by going to the gym because we want our future bodies, our future spouses to appreciate the work we put in these years.
People who lift in their lifetime, like older people that outrun people in marathons, for example, right? So I just ran a 5K, so a 5-miler this Thanksgiving, and there was a 70-year-old man that passed me and told me to run faster, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "This 70-year-old man just passed me," and then
he told you to run fast.
He was like, "Give it your all," and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then a guy in a wheelchair with no legs goes past me. It was downhill. But I was still impressed, nevertheless. And then I was like, are you kidding me? These people are older, no legs, and they're outdoing me. I went to Peru, and when I was in Peru climbing the 2-day tour to the top of Machu Picchu to look down on it, I had a 60-year-old couple, right, that was from Spain, Madrid, Spain. They were very, very healthy. And I was the most athletic in the whole entire group besides the tour guide because he was used to the elevation. We were at 9,000-ish feet, so anywhere from 7 to 11,000 feet. And I was carrying about an extra 100 pounds of weight because my other friend couldn't do it. So I was carrying her weight, like her lunch and her backpack. And then I went with another couple, and they were carrying their own stuff and dying the whole entire time. We had another guy from France who was dying the whole entire time. But the other couple that was 70 something years old, maybe 60, right? They're like, the man was like, he's like, I run 2 marathons a year and 4 half marathons a year, and I do a 5K weekly. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, this guy that is in his 60s or 70s is outperforming 20-year-olds in their peak. Okay, peak.
Yes.
Not physical peak, because they definitely were not there.
But age peak.
Age peak. And they were outperforming them by 40 years plus. And not only there in a place where they were at a deficit because they weren't used to that elevation or to that strenuous activity, but also out there. They're doing marathons monthly. That's nuts. But old people, okay, that have been around for a long time are here for a reason. They learned a lot. They got gray hairs for a reason. There's a reason why they exercise, why they stretch, why they rest, why they eat this way, why they take extra vitamins and such to help them live longer. That will help them, like, that's setting themselves up. That's not talking about the day or the week or tomorrow, right? That's literally the rest of their life, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, inside of that, I mean, you definitely know a lot about setting yourself up for success because every single Sunday, which is your day off of work and school, what are you doing on Sundays, to help set up your week?
I'll let you know. First, well, most importantly, we haven't talked about it yet, but we were both looking for in our spouses a deep connection with God, and that's most important. We like to have that personal connection ourselves each day, and that's definitely
start the day.
Absolutely. So, we go to church each Sunday. Not that determines how religious you are, but that's how we start our Sundays. But apart from that, I know most people, I don't know what most people do actually. I just know what I do. So on Sundays, it's a big day for me to be able to look at the next week, the next 6 days, and say, what is my week going to look like? I'm not going to plan every hour. I used to do that actually, which is pretty insane.
Do you think that helped you get to the point where you are now? Like in a time management time frame? Because I would definitely say before that, you were not exceptional at time management or preparedness for setting yourself up for either the rest of that day or the previous day, next day.
I think I've always been a prepared person, but not on a daily simplistic basis. Now, when it comes down to the details, I'm like, I'm here. I know what I need to do. I know what to expect. And actually, I got some more information for you or whatever. So Sundays are a great tool for me to be like, hey, next 6 days. I think it's gotten to the point where I'm so used to my routine that I don't need those hourly reminders. I'd be like, I need to be here now.
But do you think that helped you grow to that point?
It definitely didn't hurt me.
That's a really good point. I like that. It definitely didn't hurt me.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
So because
I like that.
Did it help me? Yes, but I don't know if it was worth. Because it used to take me 2 or 3 hours, which sounds insane, to create a 6-day schedule. And some people are like laughing right now. Now it takes me about 30 minutes.
Well, you also, when you were doing an hour-by-hour schedule, you didn't know that Google Calendar existed.
I did.
Outlook Calendar.
Okay, whatever.
That's what's so funny.
Whatever.
And I pulled it up on my phone, and he was like, what's that app? I was like, it's my calendar app. He's like, what is it? That looks so easy. And I was like, it's Google Calendar. And he was like, oh my gosh.
So, yes. So, yeah, back in the old days, I didn't know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So that's very important for me setting up my week. And this is also goes right hand in hand with pursuing, what is it called?
The pursuit of healthy growth.
Yes, pursuing healthier growth. So if I want to set my week up right, then that's definitely a super healthy thing to do. Know where I need to be, know what I need to expect. Like even on Sundays, I know what days I'm training. Like depending on how long you worked at Chick-fil-A, you have different responsibilities. So like when you're training, like I remind myself on Wednesdays, I'm like, I need to slack this person because 2 days from now I'll be training. So I need to, and stuff like that. And it's super helpful. Good.
So, I mean, even inside of that too, like something you didn't mention about your Sundays is that you're doing your laundry that day.
Yes.
You're doing your meal prep that day.
Meal prep.
You're scheduling your gym activities with the people and what you're hitting at what times of the week, right?
That's very
true.
You
also are scheduling, like you said, work activity, such as you are a trainer at our store, and you have trainer responsibilities to communicate things ahead of time. That way there is no gap in communication, and so you're not at fault. So you were doing all that and getting prepared for all that from a calendar standpoint, physical standpoint of food and laundry, and just mentally preparing yourself by understanding what was happening, right? So that's something that you didn't mention that helped you a lot. But I mean, even inside of that too, like you broke down your week, right? Like people look at their day as like a typical person, from what I feel like, I mean, I can't really do that anymore because I can't look backwards for some reason. But like typical person's like, oh, I got to work today. That's all I got to do. And it's
Very
like, well, you
interesting.
have like we said earlier, when you work the 5:45 a.m. shift to 2 p.m., they have about 6 hours till they have to go to think about going to bed. 8 till they have to, like really badly. But they're like, yeah, I already did my thing for the day. But it's like you have 6 hours. Like you can give 2 hours of that to going to the gym. You can give an hour of that to reading a book. You can
Yeah.
give an hour of that to cleaning your house and making it more delightful for you to live in and making you happy.
And going along with that too, I think what sets Aiden and I different from a lot of people is, I mean, Chick-fil-A is great, but it's a fast food restaurant, right? So these people are looking at it as I did my thing for the day, but they're thinking so short term as are you wanting to work at this place for the rest of your life? And
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're like, no, I don't care what they're like. That's where they're thinking. And Aiden and I are like, hey, we're both working here. He's working full time. I'm in school right now, but I'm I'm playing. I don't want to use my degree towards something. I want to do my own thing, and I'm not sure what that is yet. But that means right now, if I don't know, I better be working hard to figure out what that is. And that means when I'm off of work, I'm discovering what things are there. What is copywriting? What is marketing? What is all these things? Can I try these interests? And if I hate them, then I know not to pursue them in college. Cool. Instead of just going off work and be like, I'm gonna play video games. You know?
And what ultimately is that the things, the list you just gave of like marketing, copywriting, I mean real estate, even if you wanted to, right? All of that extra stuff that you're interested in that's not part of your school, not part of your work, that is what the pursuit of healthy growth,
Oh
which is
yeah.
what the ultimate weapon, which if you were naturally inclined to go to wanting to do that, you are walking towards becoming, you are the ultimate weapon. That's what it is, the pursuit of healthy growth. um, but so we're going to go ahead and conclude here, though, because we want to try and keep this in a timely manner. Because honestly, we could talk about this topic all day and all night. Don't worry, guys. We're going to have some more episodes coming towards you guys soon, talking about not only about the pursuit of healthy growth, but also about how to like manage time better, how to exercise better, how to like what's the importance about blood flow, sleep, eating, resting, what's the balance between work and play, right? What to do with your money. So many things this can talk about, right? So that's just a little taste of it, but I want to go ahead and cut it here. James, you got any final remarks that you want to go ahead and say before you bounce out?
Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. First episode down, guys. Way to go.